Facebook, time to catch up, fellas, and we'll get this show on the road for another episode of These Sports and Needs. What is that noise?
What's what noise?
I heard like a ring charm. Okay, we're live. We are live.
Hello. Letting me know that I did not get my picks in again this week.
You didn't get your picks in?
Nope.
Well, I quit making picks a couple of weeks ago, Ken, so you're not alone.
Well, it's not like I was in contention anyway, so. Want to be between Clarky's daughter and her boyfriend.
Really?
Yep. Clarky's in third, I think.
All right. And there we go. All right. Another week of football, another week closer to football being done.
Wow.
It's gone by quick. It goes by quick every year, guys.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Just seems like it was August not too long ago.
Yes, it does.
You're 100 degrees outside.
Right?
Of course, now it's December in Texas, and it's 80 degrees coming up.
So it's still kind of warm out there, isn't it?
Still. Supposed to be 80 degrees on Christmas Day.
Yeah. John looks outside his window and sees the frozen tundra. What is Edmonton?
Well, it's so cold out. It's Celsius and Fahrenheit are the exact same right now. So
right,
and for the whole week too. So
I know what that one is.
Yeah, it's
lots of snow, John, or just cold?
40
no, it's not a lot of snow. We don't really get a lot of snow here. It's just cold, freaking ice, miserable, frozen crap. So, anyways, welcome to Canada. Yay.
Great way north, eh?
Wish we could. Doesn't look like we'll be getting to do that much. At least according to the NHL, anyway.
The NHL shut that down.
Whatever.
For the time being.
We're right back to where we were 18 months ago.
Yep.
I'm sure glad everyone's vaccinated because that did a lot of good. Jeez. Did you see the stats I pulled on that? 95% NFL, 97% NBA, almost 100% Canada.
Yeah.
Peak physical fitness athletes. And they can't stop this shit. Maybe it's all bullshit. Maybe all this shit, just let it ride. What's going on with this Omicron now, right? No one's really dying from it. It's kind of running its course. It's just going to come in and do its thing like any natural freaking disease instead of trying to vaccinate this shit. Why don't we just let it run its course? No, but I'm an idiot. Like I was saying for the past 2 years, all this shit is bad for you. Like George Carlin said, it's all bullshit and it's bad for you, folks. It's all bullshit and it's bad for you. Thanks for listening.
Brett says Bills on another subject. Brett mentions Bills win, Pats lose, John's happy.
We ever lose.
I'm just
what?
Like, I mean, last night I felt like last night was more of a victory for Bills than today. Like, yay Colts. Like, go Frankie Wright. Let's go. I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Colts are legit. I think they're probably the best team in the AFC right now, if you ask me.
We're in the contention.
That was great. And they exposed those frauds that are the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And today we were supposed to handle business and we did. It was ugly, but it's the Carolina Panthers. We did put up 31 points on a defense that's supposedly the best in the league, but really didn't look that great.
Who said that Carolina was the best defense in the league?
One of the best defenses, bro.
Really?
Check the stats, man. Yeah.
I have a question for you, John.
Sure, Ken.
Are you on board with the all red uniforms?
As long as they're not playing those jet green shits. That's the problem. I mean, it's whatever. I'm not a fan of them per se. I love the dark blue. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, as long as they're not playing against the Jets, then it looks like that stupid, Christmas.
Looks like a Christmas game, right?
Yeah.
Looks like red salsa and green salsa.
That Facebook user is Mike Dell, in case you're wondering.
Hi, Mike.
Mike,
Hi, Mike.
click on that link to get your Facebook.
Mike's here to talk about how great the Dolphins are. That's what he's here to talk about.
Click on that link in there, Mike. Get your Facebook profile link connected to Restream so we can see your name in the chat. So you're more happy with the win yesterday than you were today.
Listen, they were supposed to win today. It's like they shouldn't get a freaking star and a way to go pat on the back today. Okay. Like that's just that. Like they're supposed to win. That being said, a whole bunch of guys were out. I mean, no excuse. I mean, the entire league seemed to be out with COVID crap. So we lost Deion Dawkins this past week, and then John Feliciano today. So we were running with our O-line. Everyone had to switch. So everyone that was on the right went over to the left. And it was just a disaster. Like, I mean, Josh had no time in the pocket at all. Like, he was running for his life half the time. But he did his thing, man. I mean, it wasn't a pretty game. Yeah, exactly, Mike. I mean, to be honest, I would much rather see the Dolphins in any type of contention than the Pats. Right. But then again, out of all the three teams of the AFC East, the one I hate the least is the Dolphins, right? So and if you see me kind of struggling here, it's because I'm trying to adjust something on my lap here, right?
The new puppy is in the house.
Yeah.
And what's its name?
Cookie.
Cookie.
All you wanted for Christmas was a Rottweiler, and she got you that.
Oh, she didn't get me this. I got her this. I didn't. No. I. Okay.
You haven't seen my comment yet, have you?
Was that? Sorry?
You haven't seen my comment yet, have you?
Oh yeah, the not Weiler. Yeah.
Not Weiler. Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm taking it. I'm taking the jokes.
Mike says he has bigger cats.
Yeah, there's rats in New York bigger than this thing. I know. I get the joke. Okay, totally.
So what's the story, John?
Well, the story is like I had my Rottweiler, right? 13 years. She was passing away, so my wife thought. So she ended up getting the Min Pin because she knew that I liked German dogs and I always wanted a Doberman. So she thought that getting a miniature pinscher for me would be the equivalent of getting a Doberman. Not in the freaking slightest. So I've kind of had to deal with this dog for 7 years now, this little shit. And then her Yorkie passes away in April. So she's just miserable. But I put my foot down. I'm saying, listen, babe, the next dog we get, it's got to be a normal sized dog. I can't do these little dogs anymore. I just can't do it. I can't do it. They annoy me. They're tiny.
No more purse pooches.
And then she found this thing online, and I had to drive an hour and a half to go get it last night. So
wow,
there we go. So now we have another Yorkie. It's a cool dog. It's tiny, and they don't do anything. Like they just sit on your lap. I mean,
missing your bird yet, John?
Oh, dude, missing my bird, missing my dog. I mean, it's I just want a normal dog. Like I'm a dude. I want a normal dog. Like a normal dog,
Doesn't have to be a Rot, could be a German Shepherd, could be a Doberman, could be,
I prefer the German breeds, short hair. So I really don't want a German Shepherd because way too much fur. Rotties shed a lot too, but Dobermans, I've had my eye on Dobes for years.
Yeah.
I think they're amazing. So, yes, Brett. Well, no, listen, the thing's, it's 2 months old, right? It's just a little pup, barely can stand half the time. It's, just always trying to cuddle with you because it's so terrified. But
is he shaking?
No, it's pretty cool. Like I got a little playpen for it here where I just keep it. But he hasn't even been here for 24 hours yet, and my wife is just like, how come he doesn't play and jump around and do little puppy things? I'm like, well, it's 2 months old. It just got taken away from its parent. All his brothers and sisters, it's alone, and it's going to take some time to adjust. I mean, so anyways, I got another Yorkie. So
you've taken upon yourself to bond with the dog and not
I
not
don't.
the wife.
I'm trying to get her just to stay with the dog, but you got to remember, I have 2 kids. One's 4, one's almost 3, right? So they are on level 10 all the time. So the only time this dog gets a little bit of peace and quiet is when I'm in my office and the door's shut.
Yeah.
Right. So this is my time to just dogs on the lap, just chilling out, quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been my day today. And the Bills winning. So, go Buffalo.
You said relatively house trained?
No, it just pees on the pads. We got pads for it, right? So we'll get it peeing on the pads. And then when it can't go outside, man. This thing will freeze to death. So, yeah, it's so freaking cold here, man. It's like bad. Like my min pin goes out and literally like walks back with its hands like this, like it's so cold on its paws, right? No human being should be living in this town. Like, why? Who thought it would be a good idea to settle this place hundreds of years ago? Please explain it to me. Fort Edmonton. Like, who thought this was a good idea? Just stupidity, man. Oh, it's where the fur trade is. Like, whatever. Hey,
Happy
buddy, you're gonna fall. If you fall, you have tiny little bones, and I'm not trying to take it.
Happy life, John. Remember that.
Yeah, and whatever, man. I mean, she listened. It was traumatic when her Yorkie died, man. Like that was like another level of. I've never seen like someone have to go through that. That was pretty bad. So I get it, And she kind of put it away. And I told her, I said, listen, if you're getting a new Yorkie, you can't compare it to the other dog. It's never going to measure up. It's got to be a blank slate completely. Yeah. And she's trying to get the dog that looks exactly like her old dog. I'm like, don't do it, man. New dog.
I need to write that down. I'm going to use that sometime. New Yorkies. New Yorkies.
New Yorkies. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Wait, who you in the New Yorkies?
I'm thankful.
I was beating the New Yorkies today.
I'm thankful I got to talk about this with you guys because if Elliott was here, I would have got 20 seconds and it would have changed it to some obscure sports news. Anyways, there you go. Yeah. Thank you for listening to my sob story.
Hey, you get all the right in the world to have your Bills propaganda, but you don't seem excited about the win today because
dude, it's good, man. We put up the dub we're supposed to. I mean, if we're gonna have any chance to even get into the playoffs now, we got to do 3 or 4. Right. So we got our win. Next week in New England is going to be a very important game. Yes. It's basically for the AFC East title, and that's what, Atlanta and New York don't scare me, but neither did Jacksonville.
Right.
I mean, this is to be honest with you, this season, I think should be a write-off. I think the Bills, if we squeak in, like, I don't want to even, because what'll happen if we squeak in, we'll be like, oh, we're just a couple of pieces away from, no, this team is freaking awful with certain positions, namely O-line. Namely, they have no more cornerbacks. As soon as Tre'Davious White goes out, I mean, Levi stepped up today. It's good. And Dane stepped up. But it's like there's no depth there. Our running game is just like anemic. But our O-line is just like awful. You spent $250 million on Josh Allen, and you have no one to protect his ass. And the only 2 guys that usually protect him are on the COVID shelf. So it's just like, what do? It's just like me and you have been talking about for years, man. It's if you're going to put all this money into a quarterback, protect his ass. And that means O-line. Heavy O-line investment. The Buffalo Bills. No, we got the team we got, and that's what we're going to put out on the field.
And how do you not have a team, going back to the Monday night game against New England, how do you not have a team that's able to play well in the elements? You're in Buffalo, for God's sake.
You know what's funny? I'm glad you brought that up because I never got a chance to talk about this because last week I had gout and it was, putting me on my ass. So check this out. The whole reason you do 2 things. One, you draft Josh Allen because he has got a big arm and he can throw into the wind, right?
Yep.
Oh, someone's got an emergency test. Or it's a real emergency.
It's a real emergency. Amber alert.
Oh, Amber alert. Okay.
Amber alert. Yeah.
So you got Josh.
By the way, Brett, we'll get to that in just a moment.
Big arm, can throw into the wind. But then you use this bullshit propaganda about we have the Buffalo advantage because we have no dome. We've got the shittiest weather, and we got players that are grindy and tough and can play through this. Well, that kind of backfired, didn't it? Because the game plan that Bill put out there was the game plan that you're supposed to play with without the dome.
And with the personnel that you have, you can't play that game.
No, and it's utterly frustrating. It's just
they threw the ball 4 times the whole game.
3 times. No, three times. He was 2 of 3. He was 2 of 3, right?
2 of 3.
Yeah, he was 2 of 3. And every other play was the running game by committee because their running backs were better than yours.
That doesn't take long. I'm probably a better running back than half the Buffalo running backs. I mean, it's that's what kills me. The narrative going in was always Josh has got this big arm, and it's like, oh, they finally figured it out in the second half. He's got a big arm. Why didn't you throw it? Because he's supposed to be the guy who can go through the wind, and obviously he was. When you let him rip it, he got it out there. He got it into people's hands, and there was drops and whatever. And then the second bit of that stupid ass narrative is, oh, we have the advantage because it's the Lake Erie wind, the lake effect snow, and the crazy weather of Buffalo. Well, guess what, Buffalo? New England doesn't have palm trees and sunny weather either. So Bill can game plan for that. So it's bull. Build the dome. Build the stupid dome in the city. Like, get it out of North Tonawanda, Orchard Park, suburban hell. Like, get it out of there. Put a dome downtown Buffalo. Put the money behind this franchise. But, they're not going to. They're not going to. They're going to use this bullshit about, we have the advantage because we game plan for this weather. And
Is there a place in downtown Buffalo they're looking at to build?
Well, if you go across the bridge, so all I know is coming in from Canada, right? So when you come down, you bank a right, and it goes down to the downtown core, and you can take the Skyway. The Skyway goes over the lakefront, and then you can drive down to Orchard Park, and that's where the stadium is. There's basically toxic waste dumps, aka Rust Belt old factories, that entire side of the city, like tons of open land, man, tons of it. Like, tear it down, develop the harbor front, put some money into it. Like, look, I'm not going to try to get too off topic here, but look what the Cats group did here in Edmonton. I don't know if you know, but Edmonton is not what you would call a touristy, thriving place where people say, oh, let's go downtown Edmonton. Because it's usually drug addicts, pickpockets, and homeless problems in downtown Edmonton. What happened here? The owner of the Oilers put up money, developed this entire thing downtown called the Ice District. Now this franchise is worth $1.1 billion, the richest franchise in the NHL. $1.1 billion in this podunk city in northern Canada, where it's in the frozen tundra 9 months out of the year. So don't tell me you can't do that to Buffalo. Buffalo has got, you're right by Cleveland. You're 5 hours from Pittsburgh, 6 hours from New York. You're an hour from Toronto. You have all of this population base. Put the money into the city. Like, this is what will drive more people wanting to play there, coming there. Sponsors will come. But they won't. They're going to keep it out in frickin' Orchard Park in a field, and it's just whatever.
Let me ask you this, and I'm going by what you were describing a few minutes ago about the land itself and what's wrong with it right now. You said it's got old factory stuff and
all factories, on the lakefront.
If that land is contaminated, then it's going to cost an enormous amount of money to rebuild it or rebuild it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the reason I'm referring to this is East Rutherford, New Jersey, because they did the same thing with Giant Stadium, the former Giant Stadium, and come to find out that land was still contaminated, and they've had all kinds of health problems with the older Giants that have played there, and it's weird because I heard about at least, I think, half a dozen former Giants players that had died of cancer that they linked to that, but no Jets. And I thought, wow, that's strange because I mean, the Giants played there for a little bit longer than the Jets, but you never heard about any Jets that died of cancer, stemming from that. But like I said, I mean, if the land is contaminated, then it may take quite a bit of money to get that.
Well, they've put a lot of money into like the harbor fronts down in Buffalo. Right. Like there's really nice development. It's really cleaned up around the Skyway and stuff, right? So I know that they definitely could build something there. It's not that bad, but you keep driving down and you just see the factories constantly, and it's just rusted out and chain fences and stuff. But right downtown, like, so if you're looking at Buffalo coming into Canada, it would be I guess it'd be the west side of Buffalo. I'm not really totally sure, but the Skyway, if you're going across the Skyway, so it's to the right of downtown, they've got tons of development down there, tons of stuff going on. That's where the Sabres play down there too. They got the arena like right tucked in right underneath the Skyway, kind of sort of. So there's loads of potential there. I don't know why. Well, I know why, because the taxes, and they get perks for being out in Orchard Park. Let's be honest. That's why they don't want to move. Yeah. And they've got the stadium there, and they got the land. They can build the new stadium right on a parking lot, still have the stadium. Like, so, but it's just, it comes back to you paid all that money for Josh. You drafted Josh to be able to throw in this kind of weather. Why the shit didn't you game plan for that?
Right.
And if there's a dome there, then you don't need to worry about that stupid ass excuse.
Yeah.
Because look what happens. Look at the Colts, man. They're like, look, the Colts they play basically on the same axis as the Bills do. But they're nice, and Lucas Oil Stadium's nice and beautiful and warm and, gorgeous. And it's not like Indianapolis is the thriving metropolis here. It's, you're a couple hours from Chicago. I get it. But, no one's beating down the doors to go touristy in Indy.
Well, the 500 brings a lot of
one month a year in May.
One month a year for the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Right?
About the only time.
And some, the combine's there every year also. Actually, that's not going to happen much. I think, the combine is bringing a lot of people in, but a lot of things around basketball, college basketball comes in. Turkey hates domes. A lot of things that revolve around college basketball in Indianapolis too. So that has a lot to do with it.
True.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I see this thing, and the Patriots fan shows up. I love it. I see this as Bill being a superior coach than Sean McDermott is.
Yes.
Like night and day, because this was the narrative throughout ever since they drafted Josh. And anyone says dome in Buffalo, they go, no, we got Josh and we like the elements. We like the advantage. Bill game planned for it perfectly. Yep. So it's bullshit and it's bad for you. Just like George Carlin said. You got to stop drinking the Kool-Aid, Buffalo Bills fans, and demand this stuff. Because, again, you got the franchise, the quarterback. Let him rip.
You got to look at something else, too. Look where Josh Allen came from.
Wyoming.
They play out in the wide open, and it's freaking cold there, too. So it's not his first rodeo.
That's why they drafted him, right? That's why they drafted him, because he did his college in Wyoming, and he can throw it in the wind. Well, buddy, if you've ever been to Buffalo and you've watched a game there, I'm sure it's the same in Cleveland. It ain't pretty wind.
No.
It hurts your face when it's blowing on it. It's
in New Jersey too.
Yeah. It's and it's. I'm sure it's the same in New England too. I mean, again, New England is not like rosy palm trees. I mean, so. You're playing New England, all the teams except for Miami, you're playing them twice a year.
Yeah.
They're used to this weather. That's not an advantage. It's not an advantage that you get snow and sleet in your face 6 times a year. Like, such bull. Anyways.
Yeah.
And you know what? Cookie agrees. Cookie's had enough of this crap, man.
That's great, John. I'm with you on that.
Thank you. That's my.
Yeah,
I was waiting for last week, and I couldn't. That was what I was trying to get out. Like, this bull crap narrative that the Buffalo Bills have been pushing on fans for years. Like, oh, it's an advantage that we have an open air stadium. Like, no, it's not.
I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that argument in Cleveland for 50 years too, John.
It's
the old Media Stadium and now this one. There's fans in Cleveland that want us to build a dome. We've had this thing for 20 years now. They want us to build it. They want to build a dome too. So,
let me tell you something about domes. They don't always work.
No, I'm not.
Looking like a true Cowboys fan.
But see, that's the thing. There's a difference between and Clark, you'll say that yes, okay, Foxborough, but like it's. I just don't like that the argument that this is an advantage for us, because it's not, especially in the division we're in. See, the Colts don't play in the same division, and yeah, they might meet in the playoffs at the AFC final or something, or a divisional final or something like that, but they don't play the teams 6 times a year. Buffalo, New England, and New Jersey play each other 2 times a year each.
Yep.
That's not an advantage when those guys deal with the same crap you do.
Right.
Yep.
That's the problem.
I mean, the Jets are awful, but the Jets have to deal with the same thing. It's not warm in New York and New Jersey either. So
no.
Yeah. It's so annoying.
The wind swirls there too.
Yes.
Just like Giant Stadium.
Yes. Moving on, Kenny, congratulations on your victory today.
Thank you. It was
only the Giants, but still, you still won.
Yeah, it was just more or less calling John's Bills. We won, but it was fugly.
Yes,
right? It's like, yay. Oh, good. Yay, we won. We beat the Giants. Here's your cookie.
No, the cookie's in your lap, but that's okay.
Yeah, cookies on my lap.
Yeah, it was a win. That's about all I can say. But we're still having trouble getting the ground game going.
Yeah,
we're still having trouble getting Dak's confidence back because he is becoming more and more gun shy, and the ball is not going downfield, much to the chagrin of my brother, and me to an extent. We're still trying to get the receivers back into the game as a result.
Yeah.
But the defense was outstanding again today. I'll put our defense up against anybody else in the league, and that's hands down. But again, it was the Giants. We actually saw, believe it or not, a Jake Fromm sighting today. The first time he's played in the NFL since he left the Georgia campus.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Brett, it was the Tony Pollard show. He is back. Not quite the same Tony Pollard, but he's getting there. The offensive line, much like Buffalo, had problems today. We've had injuries and a couple of COVID outs today that hurt us. Dak still having to run for his life sometimes. So we're not so unlike the Bills right now in those terms, but we pretty much shut down Saquon Barkley for the most part. There was one play I think he gained about 30 or 40 yards, but that was about it. And the rest of the time, we pretty much shut down their offense. We've held them to 2 field goals, so that was a pretty big win for us. That's why I was kind of watching the games earlier today, because Arizona's loss and Green Bay, what could have been their loss, would have really helped us, because right now, as we're standing right now, we're now the number 3 seed in the NFC. And hopefully, if Tampa Bay should lose, we do not hold a head-to-head advantage with them, but there's still a possibility they could lose another one. And we
Mhm.
possibly move up to number 2. But if things go, if they hold steady, and we can win out the last 3 games, we might have a shot at making some noise. But
That pick that Diggs had in the end zone today was something else.
I'm sorry.
That pick that Diggs had in the end
Yeah.
zone today. There's
Trent
Elliott.
on Diggs is incredible.
Hey, Elliott.
At least. Hey, Elliott.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, he's got 10. He's got 10 picks now,
10
right?
picks this year, including one he housed.
And he's one shy of the Cowboy record, which would
Right.
be Everson Walls.
Walls, yeah.
With 11, yes.
Right.
Yes.
And he's got 3 games to do that against 3 more or less passing teams. So
Yep.
we shall see.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has had a great game. Micah Parsons had kind of a quiet game, but he was moving around a little bit more, playing more linebacker than rush in today. And hey, Jamal.
Hey, Jamal.
And yeah, it was, like I said, it was a win. A team that we historically struggle against, and to an extent today, it was no different. We kind of struggle with them at times, but we have Washington again next week. Then we have a big one against Arizona in 2 weeks, and then we finish in Philly. So it's going to be 3 landmines, but hopefully we can maneuver around them.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about Arizona these days.
Arizona is coming unraveled. You're right. Arizona's coming unraveled.
Oh,
but the thing about that is every time we come up against a team that's unraveling, they seem to re-ravel and get themselves back together just in time to play us. So
Look, Arizona without DeAndre Hopkins to wreak havoc on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
He's out for the
Kyler Murray can't
right.
succeed that way.
Yeah.
so you're telling me Zach Ertz isn't the answer?
No,
Hasn't been yet.
he's just another question.
Yeah, it was pretty painful. My kid was just like, because he was over watching the game today, and he's just depressed. He's like, "Oh yeah, so it's like 17-0, like Detroit." I'm like, "You're joking, right?" It's like, no.
Well, here's what's most embarrassing for Arizona is that they're one of the 3 teams that couldn't beat the Lions, but yet they're the only one that got blown out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
One was a tie, and the other one was the last play of the game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit handled them like they were the 10-win team and not
Correct.
the 1-win team.
Good for Detroit.
But
Good
you know
for
what?
Detroit.
If you guys didn't know it, Jared Goff is now 8-1 against the Arizona Cardinals.
And he's like 5-0 against Kingsbury or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 4-0 against Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's madness. I'm here for it though. Good for Detroit.
I got a question.
Great for Detroit.
Should Tyler Hundley be the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens?
That's a good question. I mean,
He looked good at times. Yeah.
Yeah, if Harbaugh, okay, can we talk about that for a second? First of all, Huntley, big shout out, but that freaking play to go for 2 at the end of the game, like what are you doing?
they did it 2 weeks ago against Pittsburgh too.
Look, if Baltimore doesn't make the playoffs, they're going to have those 2 2-point conversion plays be the reason they don't.
Yeah.
What
That's
are
true.
you thinking? You're at home. Play for overtime. Like
Against the Packers? Against the Packers.
you think?
I mean, in the post game, Jimmy Johnson was like, "I like the aggression," and Michael Strahan turns around and says, "Yeah, the aggression's cool, but if you lose,
Right.
you take the tie and you go into overtime."
Yeah.
Just stupid, man. I couldn't believe they did that. I thought it was just they're trying to draw him offside or something. Like I don't know what they were doing.
Honestly,
Yeah,
Hundley's a better all-around quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
He's looking good, man. That throw he had to Andrews in the end zone was disgusting.
Yes.
That was.
Yeah, I think Hundley's a better thrower of the passer. I bet Jackson's just a touch better on his legs.
Roll it
Hundley
out.
shows a lot of
I
speed
don't
and
know.
agility.
Did you see Hundley moving today?
Yeah.
But-
Were you watching Hundley run today?
Yeah, moves on the evasive moves that scramble.
Look, if the difference is between the legs and the arm, then Hundley needs to be the quarterback. Because Lamar Jackson loses you a lot of games because he doesn't have the skills at quarterback that he needs to. Period.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
What's his story, Huntley's story? What draft pick was he? What school he went to? Any of that?
I'm not sure.
Dude, he's been a winner at all. He won being
a Huntley from UCLA, but that's not him.
He won player of the 12 and he won player of the year in Pac-12, I think. Once.
Yeah, he's not the one from UCLA because that's another Huntley.
No, I think he was from Oregon
Arizona?
or something.
Arizona?
No, not Arizona. Not the Wildcats, no.
Scott is looking.
It was Utah. Excuse me,
Utah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he did well there. He was, and you know what was really cool is that the players on the Ravens were like, a few weeks ago when he was told like 2 minutes, a few hours before game time that he was going to be starting.
Right.
That's when Lamar was.
He wasn't even phased.
That's when Lamar was ill and not injured. He was.
But
sick.
I understand that. But either way, they say that his demeanor is not affected as if he were a rookie or a backup quarterback. He comes in there with.
Him, man.
Yeah,
I like him. Yeah, I like watching him play. Brett, let me just say, too bad, so sad. Look what happened last year. We had to deal with it.
Yeah.
With all the rescheduling. We didn't know we were even going to play until 24 hours before. So
the nerve of Vegas and their owner talking about move the game to Vegas, or why'd they move the game and not just give us a forfeit? Why? Because you suck and you ain't going to win. That's why. Because if you don't score a certain amount of points, you can't win. They're 0-7 if they score 17 or less.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Raiders are pretty bad.
Raiders are coming unraveled.
Yeah.
They started out like gangbusters, and now they're getting gang busted is what they're getting.
Yeah.
What happened first? Was it Gruden or was it Ruggs? Which was the...
Gruden was first, then Ruggs.
Gruden and Ruggs.
Yeah. And you know what? Those kinds of things can unravel an organization. But the bottom line is I agree with some people on the internet that once Mark Davis took over, that was the demise of the Oakland Raiders and the Las Vegas Raiders now. I mean, give me a break. The guy has a fucking haircut that looks like Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber.
Yep.
He's awesome.
I mean,
what are you talking
all
about?
that money and he can't even get his hair done right. Buy a pair of clippers and just shave the shit off.
I'll do it for you. Buddy. $5. No problem. I got you.
He's trying so hard to be like his old man.
Yeah, but he can't.
He's never going to be an Al Davis.
Because his old man
never going to happen.
His old man had balls.
He's not working out in Cincinnati.
Old man
like that took a lot of guts, huh? Like, I'm going to move a franchise from Oakland to Las Vegas. That's a risk.
What
a risk.
Las Vegas.
Dude, that's silver platter shit right there, dude.
You know what I mean? Like, literally. Like,
come on now.
How would you like your billions served to you, sir? On a side? A main course?
Right.
Look, he don't give a shit about the Raiders. He's bottom line kind of guy. And that wasn't Al Davis stuff. Al Davis gave a shit about his
hello. Just win, baby. That's all he said. That's it. That was his motto.
Commitment to excellence.
Yeah.
Right? Remember that?
Yep.
They don't have that anymore.
Nope.
It's nice when owners were like that, you know, like, and I get it's a different league and it's corporations and big billions and stuff. But I mean, for Buffalo's sake, like Ralph Wilson, like, yeah, he had money, but he genuinely wanted the freaking Bills to win.
Yes.
You know?
He'd take that money and funnel it into the team.
Yeah.
That's what got you the Bills in the late 80s and the early 90s.
Similar to George Steinbrenner and his fucked up son now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
George spent the money.
Yep.
Hal wants the money in his pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. How about your Niners today, Elliott? What'd you think of how they played?
You know, I'll tell you what. Well, it was Atlanta. So, you know, I can't use that as a measuring stick.
Right.
But they did what they needed to do, and they blew the Falcons out.
Yeah.
They were all over Matt Ryan and the rest of the team. Russell Gage was probably the only bright spot for them.
Yeah.
But that defense, especially that front.
Well, they had 2 goal line stands in the first half.
Yeah. Look, right now, consensus say that the 49ers are probably the most dangerous team to face right now.
I would say right now they are. Definitely. They are
in the
coming on my
playoffs
game
because exactly, and they're getting it all together. You got healthy people playing good football.
Yep.
And Garoppolo's doing his part to manage the team.
Yep.
But when you got Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and then of all people today, Jeff Wilson, which he's proven in the past that he's a legit running back.
Yeah.
But he came in today, what? Oh, by the way, the most dangerous job in football is being a 49ers running back, in case you guys didn't know that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
is. but he stepped it up. Elijah Mitchell wasn't there. He came in and he did what?
21 carries for 110 yards.
Yeah. And he scored what, 20 fantasy points, something like that? 19.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to fantasy now because I'm not playing anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think he scored I put him in the starting lineup in another league where I still have a shot at making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he put up 19-9 for me today.
I got San Francisco 49ers fantasy drama. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 2 quarterback. Well, I had 1 quarterback basically the entire season. Jalen Hurts. That was my go-to guy, right? He was pretty good fantasy quarterback. They were really iffy about him all week. And now they're saying he's good to go, but it's on Tuesday. And the way that this COVID shit is going, it's so fluid. Like, I don't know if he's going to play. So I'm sitting there beginning of the day today. I'm like, I got to decide what to do. Because, what happens if Jalen Hurts is good to go and then Monday he gets COVID or something like that? And then I'm screwed.
Trust me, Jalen Hurts is probably in a bubble right now.
But it's a risk I couldn't take. It's
right.
It's the playoffs, right? So I had to pick a quarterback. And when you're this deep in the season, waivers are slim to none.
Who did you put in his place?
Jimmy G.
Yeah, I think Hurts might outdo Jimmy G. But you're right. I mean,
but that was the thing.
I'm just saying, with the protocols now that are in place, there are no team meetings indoors.
Right.
They have to be either outdoors or virtual. Okay. And masks need to be worn inside any NFL or team facility, period. No questions asked. And like I said, because the Eagles are still within striking distance of getting in to the playoffs, they're probably, like I said, they probably have him quarantined in a hotel somewhere.
And I'm sure it'll probably bite me in the ass, but I couldn't take the chance. I couldn't do it because what happens, I couldn't get anybody else for Tuesday because, the schedule is as it is. So I had said, shit, Jimmy's got a pretty decent matchup. It's Atlanta. They're shite.
What he scored, 16, 20
got 17 or 18 points or something. I mean, it was okay. He was looking to get 26 is what they were saying, but whatever. I mean, it's I'm not going to lose because of that.
I think he hit his projection, which was 17 and change. I think it was
on Yahoo. It was 26 for his projection.
Oh, Yahoo's generous then because other leagues.
I'm not going to lose because of that. I'm going to lose because of Jamar Chase's 1 freaking point. That's what I'm going to lose.
Well, fortunately, I'm not going to lose with Brandon Ayuk's 1 catch today.
Okay,
Kittle
are they your fantasy league?
Kittle had a good day. Yeah.
Are they taking advantage of the extra day? Are they allowing the extra day for the last 2 games
this week? Tuesday is this week.
Okay.
So
well, yeah, because you know what? First of all, you have Baker Mayfield complaining, and fucking clown. Anyway,
he just said that because I'm sitting right here. That's what he's doing.
No, I actually posted a picture of him. He's a fucking clown, dude.
Okay.
But anyway, these games got moved. Why? Because the NFL says, well, wait a minute. if we move these games, we'll have them on prime time, which means more revenue for us.
Yep.
They
Exactly.
didn't move it because they were caring about COVID or this, that, or the other.
Nope.
They saw
So
money.
money.
They saw cha-ching. A Raiders Browns game is going to get more cash flow on a Monday night than it will on a Saturday afternoon. I've been saying this all along. NFL is about bottom line, period.
But that's an almost an
There you
unfair
go.
turnaround
Every
for-
day this week
for,
except Wednesday.
Yeah, there's
That's
games
an
every
unfair
day this week
turnaround for
except
Cleveland because they're having to play Monday and then again next Saturday.
Yep,
That's-
Christmas Day.
So
Oh,
and
yeah, but
ironically, it's in
the
Green Bay.
49ers have to play on
6 days.
Thursday, so
to prep for the best team in the
that's
league.
6 days. Yeah, well, they're playing Green Bay, right?
Yes,
They're
Green
toast.
Bay.
in at Lambeau Field. Yes,
And the Cincinnati Bengals are atop the AFC North.
despite the fact Pittsburgh pulled a win out of its ass today. God, pissed me off.
Well, I mean, they pulled the win out of their ass the other day when whatchamacallit went for it. Harbaugh went for it for a 2-point conversion.
Dude,
Yep.
like that guy should be fucking like on the hot seat for the entire remainder of this season. If they
Well,
don't
if they don't make the playoffs,
Yeah.
people will question
Yeah.
his mental acumen.
His
Going
decision making. Yes, absolutely.
I don't get it, dude.
They've
I
been doing
could
that for a
like
long
you
time.
should have saw when they were doing it. We were all on air. I was like,
Yeah.
What's he
What's he
doing?
doing?
If your last name was
Why?
Harbaugh, you get questioned about that anyway. So
Oh, it's just madness, man. But yeah, dude, listen, I got to give props to Big E's freaking Niners here, man. I'm a fan of George Kittle again.
Yes.
He's
Kittle's
not
the
just
man,
the
dude.
blocking TE. The dude was a beast last week
mean,
and this week too.
He left everything out on the field today. He was running people over and trying to get out of 3 men. He had 3 guys around him holding on, trying to bring him down. He was still
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
man!
run
Yards
forward.
after catch was crazy for him today.
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
Man.
It usually
Good to see.
is, man. Kittle's a baller, dude. That catch he did last week against Cincinnati, man. I mean,
Yeah.
he stretched himself out as far as he could.
Surprising he didn't. I'm surprised he didn't
I
strain
could
his
not-
back on that catch. He
I
was
could
so
not agree
high
more,
for his
Clarky.
work.
I'll tell you what, when he's healthy, aside Kelsey, he's probably the best tight end in football.
I think for catching, Mark Andrews is up there. Like I don't know
Yeah.
how good
Andrews
of a
is
blocker
Mark
he is,
Andrews.
but
Mark Andrews. I think Mark Andrews is actually third. Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews.
no
Yeah,
love for my boy Knox, man. Leading
You gotta
tight
put-
ends.
and
in
you gotta
the-
put-
Knox has to put together more
And I'm sorry,
seasons
Elliott.
of
I'm
doing
sorry,
it.
Elliott. You still got to put Gronk in there too. I'm sorry, you got to. Gronk's having a hell of a fucking season.
I
right now.
say Gronk is top 5.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put Gronk in that conversation because he's having a hell of a year. So
Well, yeah, but he's got Brady, and that's a combination
that's all he needs is Brady.
Is what I'm
That's all
saying.
he's never had.
Will he be
Those
that
guys are on
good?
the same
Hey,
wavelength.
would,
I mean,
would he be that good if he had Jimmy G as his quarterback?
no, he wouldn't. I don't think so.
Mm.
Oh, the
No.
Jimmy G.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It just, again, because of the history and what they've shown to this point, Kelsey balls, period.
He had a hell of a game the other night.
Season in, season out, he balls.
Yep.
All right.
Kelsey had a great game the other night too.
Kittle, as long as he's healthy, season in and season out, he's ball. Same thing with Andrews, despite the fact that he has Lamar Jackson as his quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, Andrews just pulled them out of a lot of holes. This in the last few
Bro,
weeks.
he had some catches today,
Look,
man.
Waller was top 5. But
Yep.
he's got Derek Carr and the mess of a Raiders organization.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So he's lost that luster. I could squeeze Gronkowski into 4 with that scenario.
Yep.
But again, Gronkowski's the beneficiary of playing with Tom Brady because that's who he knows, and that's
Yes.
who knows him.
And those guys know how each other thinks.
So we'll see how that goes tonight.
Yeah.
because New Orleans is pretty stingy on defense. So, and they usually play Tampa pretty tough, especially
New Orleans
Yeah.
does, yes.
Yeah.
For my fantasy life, I need Tampa to just take a step back tonight. Like, just take it easy tonight, please.
Well, somebody in our league needs Brady to blow up, in order to advance to the next round.
Did you guys see
Thursday
that?
night. What was Thursday night?
Kansas City and the
Kansas
Chargers.
City Chargers.
Oh, you mean the game that the Chargers gifted the Kansas City Chiefs in the first half?
Yeah.
That game?
Yeah, that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kansas, you know what? The Chargers took a tremendous defensive effort by their team. And Justin Herbert and the coach, Brandon Staley. I know he's this aggressive fourth down coach, but you know what? If you fail the first couple times, quit it. Stop. They got shut down 4 times, right? 4 times on fourth down. And that's what, 12 points they left on the field there.
Yep.
And not to mention, where was Austin Eckler on goal line carries when Joshua Kelly fumbled at the goal line? There's another 6 points. They left 18 points on the board. That game should have never even been close to going to overtime. But the defense was gassed in the second half after the great performance they put up in the first half.
Yep.
And because the Chargers
I'll be back in a
couldn't
second.
take advantage of
Right,
that.
John.
Chargers couldn't take advantage of that. Guess what? If you keep Mahomes in the game long enough, he will bite you in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. They kept Mahomes in the game, and he came out in the second half and bit them right square in the fucking ass. But to me, that's a coaching issue. That's a coaching issue as far as I'm concerned.
What'd you say, Ken?
I said I can't figure the Chargers out. They just
I can't either. They
it's,
get all that talent.
Dude.
They got all the talent in the world in that team, and for some reason they just continue to shoot themselves in the foot.
Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, Justin Herbert needs to learn how to put touch on his passes.
Yeah.
That pass that he
Will be
threw to Jared Cook at the goal line,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
he
saw that.
couldn't complete that because he doesn't have touch on his
Yeah.
passes. He's got a rocket for an arm, but a rocket is, how should I say, not a subtle thing to deal with.
Right.
When you have to lay the ball in there, that's why guys like Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, and those guys, they're successful. Why? Because they have both. They have the ability to do both. They can sling it, and then they can put a little touch on it when necessary and still be accurate.
Sorry.
Not to mention some of those throws that Herbert made in the end zone in that first drive were rockets.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't be throwing the ball from 10 yards, 80 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a matter of Herbert is still green and the coach is just an idiot. I mean, if you're stuck in your own mind that you're going to be so aggressive that you're going to go on fourth down every single time, don't be mad when people call you out when it doesn't freaking work. Because his attitude after the game was, I don't think I made any wrong calls. Oh, God. Okay, dude. Ego will get you on that unemployment line really quick.
Yes, it will. Just ask Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother story in itself.
Yeah.
One of the best kickers in football history. Oh, wait a minute. He kicks people. I forgot.
Yeah, they missed the 2 field goals that would have won the game before it went to overtime.
Well, they left 12 points on the board basically in the first half and 6 in the second. Come on.
Second half.
Again, Why wasn't Austin Eckler in, and why was Joshua Kelly in on a goal line situation? Eckler, you know what? When they got the ball back, guess who pounded it into the end zone? Eckler. And I know Staley pissed off a lot of fantasy people that had Eckler in their lineup. Probably pissed off Eckler too, because he plays fantasy and he drafts himself all the time. But you can't be doing this three-headed monster bullshit,
right?
When you got a stud like Eckler.
Well, and Justin Jackson had one more carry than Eckler had. He ran for 86 yards, and so it was a three-headed monster for.
That's what I'm
LA.
saying.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but when you see, and this is what happened when last year when Melvin Gordon came back, or the year before, whatever, and he totally ruined Eckler's season.
Yeah,
because Eckler was the top back in fantasy and in football at that point, and then Gordon came back and screwed it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Eckler wasn't the same after that. Why do they be dissing Eckler like that? You got a talent like that. That's like, come on, man. You got a talent like that. You got to use it.
So what else? Let's see. Not many other games to really talk about. Except maybe you guys see the hit that Bridgewater took today?
Oh, yeah.
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean, he leaped forward to try to get a first down, and he was midair, and another defender came up, and as he was going down, a defender landed on him, and he took a big hit on his head. So
no, it wasn't just that; it was the fact that the crown of his helmet crashed into the ground, the grass.
Yeah.
I mean, instantly when he hit his head on the turf.
Yeah, he was down.
Out.
Yeah.
They had to take his face mask off like they did the Chargers tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they took him to hospital for observation for the head injury.
Oh, boy, did Joe Buck get some heat for his little comment about the guy shaking his hands because it was cold in the building. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's during the game. Joe Buck said, you can see them rolling him away and his hands are shaking. It has to be because it's cold down there on the field right now. Dude, if the hands are shaking and the dude just suffered a head injury, you're going to have to worry more about something else than you do about how cold it is on the field.
Yeah, I don't know about the helmets, Clarky. I mean, they're better than they were. They're still trying to develop a better helmet, and that's still in the works.
There's no such thing as the perfect helmet.
No, there's not.
Because an irresistible force can be an immovable object.
Correct.
And once, I don't give a shit what kind of helmet you got. Once their head hits the ground with force, you're going to go down. You're going to get a concussion, period.
Yeah.
I still believe that we are possibly 5 years away, maybe a little bit more, of having motorcycle type helmets in football, because that may be the only source of safety there is left.
I put up a picture of last year or whatever of a design that they came up with, and basically it was just everything was covered.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it doesn't matter how much padding and all that shit you put in there. If your head hits an immovable object, that's what's going to happen.
Yep, that's true.
And the ground is just that. It ain't going nowhere. You hit your head on the ground, you're going to lose, period. So, sad, man.
Yeah. Well, Clarky, if you go back to leather, you're gonna get a problem where you're gonna have heads bleeding on the turf. We don't want that.
You'll get that way.
Yeah, you think CTE is bad. Now, after the Vincent Jackson thing, finding out he got stage 2 CTE, I don't think anybody's even thinking about using anything else at this point. If they can't improve upon what they have, they definitely don't want to go backwards.
No, they don't. They don't. You weren't here, but we talked about the New England game last night.
What's his name? Mac Jones looked like the rookie quarterback that he was drafted.
Yeah, that defense made him look like the rookie he is, and John loved every minute of it.
like Clarky said, for 3 quarters, Indianapolis beat up the Patriots on both sides of the ball.
Right.
In the trenches.
Yeah.
Okay. And the fact that they couldn't stop Jonathan Taylor.
Right.
And some people tried to make an argument, if Kyle Duggar would have still been in there and didn't get ejected, Taylor wouldn't have ran 67. I go, look, Taylor was tearing it up when Duggar was in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. And hindsight is 2020. And still that statement just doesn't make any sense. Taylor's run amok on many teams.
Yeah. They got him in the MVP conversation too now.
Well, he should be, but I think that was going to go to Cooper Kupp.
As MVP?
Sure, why not? The guy he's got the triple crown in all wide receiver categories.
Yeah, but you know what? They're still talking about Brady and Rodgers.
Brady's in the conversation.
Brady and
too.
Rodgers and
Rodgers. Yeah.
So,
and I wouldn't be surprised if one of them wins it because it usually goes to the quarterback.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But Cooper Kupp has had a ridiculous season according to wide receivers. He leads in every category.
Yeah, but how often does a wide receiver get MVP? When's the last time you can remember a wide receiver ever getting MVP?
But like I said, even running backs sometimes are overlooked because of quarterbacks.
Yeah, agreed.
Quarterbacks always get the most. In the end, the quarterbacks usually get the most love when it comes to MVPs.
Yeah.
And how would the NFL not feel good about giving it to Rodgers or Brady?
Right.
Being the elder statesmen that they are.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
But yeah, I think Ken's right. Indy's gonna be dangerous in the playoffs. They really are. They're gonna be real dangerous.
As long as the games are in Lucas Oil, yeah, they will be dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can translate that on the road because Carson Wentz is still Carson Wentz.
True.
And if you shut down Taylor, Indianapolis ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but Taylor's proven he's very difficult to shut him down.
He's very difficult.
He had 170 yards against a very good New England defense last night. So yeah.
You see, the thing with Taylor is that he's very big on yards after contact.
Yeah, and that last run he had to seal the game last night was amazing. Because not only does he have power, but he's got speed too. So, yeah.
Look, he was highly touted coming out of Wisconsin. He was a stud in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay, and they expected big things from him coming out of Wisconsin. He didn't have that his first season, but you know what? And I understand everybody's talking about he's going to be the first pick next year and stuff like that. And I can go with that if he's the next pick or the first pick in fantasy leagues next year. And it seems everybody forgot about Derrick Henry. And I'm like, well, you see, Derrick Henry is now in that category of running backs that have suffered an injury.
Yep.
And usually that means there are more to come. Just ask Christian McCaffrey.
Just ask Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. That too. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I wouldn't draft Derrick Henry first because of the injury. Jonathan Taylor still hasn't been injured. I'd pick him first. But if you'll notice, all the guys that got picked, the first 5 running backs that got picked have all been busts, either by injury or just lack of performing.
I'm trying to remember who went first in our league this year. Did CMC go first in our league, or was it somebody else?
CMC went first. What did he play? 4 games, 5 games?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry went second. What did he play? 6, 7 games?
Yeah, and he actually may be back for the playoffs if they make the playoffs.
The earliest he's going to be back is week 18.
Yeah.
Is what they said.
Yeah.
Who was the third? Alvin Kamara. He's been missing in action.
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook.
Alvin Cook.
And Ezekiel Elliott.
Yep. And Saquon. Good point.
Saquon Barkley he's a second-round pick now, or third in some leagues.
Yep.
Because once an injury occurs, you can't really put all your faith in drafting. That's why, you know what? I was really impressed with people that drafted like Travis Kelce in the first round. Travis Kelce is outdoing every single guy that was drafted before him.
Yep.
At this point, you can draft George Kittle in the first round, Mark Andrews in the first round, because running backs just don't seem to stick around.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
They take more punishment than anybody else does.
Whereas the tight ends are liable to put out punishment as opposed to take punishment.
Well, yeah. You check the size of a tight end as opposed to a running back, especially a running back like Christian McCaffrey. I knew when McCaffrey got hurt, he's not okay. So people don't consider him to have a small body because he's pretty fit or whatever, but he's still got a small frame under NFL standards.
Yep.
And the way that the Panthers used him, so many touches through his first 3 seasons. And so much bodily contact that he took during those 3 seasons.
They were running in between the tackles, and I'm sorry, I don't see him as that kind of back. I really don't.
No, because he's not a Derrick Henry.
No.
He's not a Jonathan Taylor.
They wanted him to be like Mike Allstott. Not happening.
But you see, that's because that's all they had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Christian McCaffrey a bust for the Panthers?
Only because of an injury.
That's it.
All because he got injured, and usually that means that injuries are going to start coming one.
They're going to linger. They're going to linger and be with him forever.
Well, if you're compensating for one injury, you're going to wind up with another one.
Yep.
Because you're trying not to re-injure yourself for one thing. You're going to start favoring that, and that's going to throw another part of your body off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that stands true for anybody, athlete or not. Once you get an injury and you start walking different, that means that the rest of your body is going to start feeling different and acting different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens when you start getting injured. A lot of players in the NFL, that's why the league the acronym stands not for long.
Right.
Especially if you're a running back.
Yep.
Because you take the most hits in a game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't stand up to the hits after a while, they catch up with you.
Yep. All right. That's it for this week. I'm going to move on to hockey real quick.
I just want to say congratulations to Steph Curry for breaking the 3-point record in the NBA.
Good. Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, he did it in Madison Square Garden against my Knicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I suspect he's going to put that one away because I don't see anybody else approaching that anytime soon.
Dang it. The NHL, hang on. Damn sneeze coming. Anyway.
Bless you.
NHL has canceled all cross-border games till after the Christmas break. So COVID is rearing its ugly head in the NHL as well.
Well, Canada's already shutting shit down, aren't they?
Aren't they, John? Yeah.
Montreal had no fans at a game the other day.
Yep. But yet the same arena had fans in it for a boxing match, I think a day or two later. So go figure.
Well, you see, that's because boxing is a one-time thing. Whereas hockey, you're going to get, I mean, come on, in Canada especially.
Yeah.
As rabid as the fans are in Canada about hockey.
Yeah. And according to what I'm reading, this comes from Eric earlier tonight, John. There are 5 teams shut down. Panthers, Bruins, Predators, Avalanche, and the Flames are all shut down right now. John he's rolling his eyes and shaking
I'm
his
not
head.
saying a freaking word, man.
Sometimes
I've already
sometimes it's
ranted
best
about
that way,
this,
right?
man.
Yeah, he's already had his COVID rant before you got here. So
Oh, okay.
I ain't saying a damn thing.
yeah, so yeah, I mean it's it's affecting the NFL. You know, Browns don't play until tomorrow night. 2 other games scheduled for Tuesday.
Unfortunately, it's still
EPL.
Yeah.
It's whoa.
Not going away, folks.
No.
Whoa, what was that?
Callaway?
What?
Callaway, you ain't done shit all year, and you're going to do that now when I'm out of the playoffs?
You shouldn't have kept them that long anyway.
I know. I should have dropped him a long time ago. I should have
You would have been better with Deontay Harris, yo.
I should have kept. I should have kept Jefferson on my roster, but no, someone talked me into trading him away.
Well,
That's
you
all
traded him away, but you got Kamara. I can't predict injuries.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody can.
Yeah.
But if memory serves me, that's when you actually started winning.
Yeah, I did. Kamara helped me out a lot this year.
You were in the dirt before that trade.
Anybody else want to cover anything else, or are we going to cut it short tonight?
Oh no! Whatever floats your boat, man. I mean, let's have fun. How about I don't know.
What's going on?
I don't know.
How about the Cavaliers?
No one cares.
What about it?
What?
No one cares.
They're still a team.
I don't care. I don't care about the NBA at all.
You don't care about the NBA?
No, not at all.
Not yet. I don't care about it yet, really.
Toronto must be playing really bad right now.
The season doesn't start until after Christmas.
It's like Elliott said. It's like, season starts when it's closer to playoffs, and it's like right now it's just prima donna, whiny.
Hey, once football's over, NBA takes a bit of a front seat.
Yeah, then I'll pay attention. Right now, I care less.
I only got one other thing, and we can talk about it for just a moment since Katie's not here. That punch last night from Jake Paul was a fucking sledgehammer.
That dude was out before he hit the canvas.
Long time.
That dude went to bed immediately.
He's gonna miss Christmas because he's already 2 weeks down the road.
What you're saying is he got a NyQuil punch?
A NyQuil punch. That's a
NyQuil punch, man. That dude got knocked in the next week, man.
I remember when that happened.
I remember a long time.
I remember when that happened to Manny Pacquiao, and they started changing NyQuil to Pacquiao.
Bro, I remember when Manny Pacquiao did that to Ricky Hatton.
Oh, that was
15 years ago or something.
Yes, I remember that.
And Ricky Hatton was like the big
Ricky,
thing.
that was a bad move on your part. You shouldn't have taken this fight.
Dude, I just talk about it for shits and giggles. Is this dude like a legit fighter now, or do people just like chalk him up as
Come on, man.
I've never heard of him.
Hey, Tyrone Woodley, when was the last time he was relevant in boxing, period?
No, I'm not necessarily talking about that, but I'm talking about Jake Paul specifically. Like, is this dude a legit fighter, or is
let him step into the ring. Let him step into the ring with what's his name? The Mexican kid.
Cinnamon. Cinnamon.
The redhead.
Cinnamon. Yeah. Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Alvarez.
Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo.
Yeah. Let him step into the ring with Canelo. And then you can talk to me about Jake Paul.
That's a good point. Because Canelo's a badass. Hi, Nosy. Congratulations on your relationship. Nosy's in a relationship now.
Canelo would knock Paul straight out of reality, dude.
Good. I'm glad. I want to see it. I'm here for it because that was hilarious.
Yeah. Did you guys see the tweet that Jake Paul put out within the last couple of days? Because Le'Veon Bell was talking about Jake Paul and how he's not all that, and he wanted to get. And Le'Veon Bell was wanting to get in the ring with some guy, I forget who was, another ex-football player or something like that. And Jake Paul came back and said that dude would drop you faster than the Ravens.
Those are great one-liners. Like I said, bring him up against Canelo, and then
put him in the ring with a real fighter. Come on, any pro. Put him in there.
Canelo is deadly, man.
Put him in there with an MMA guy.
Canelo will end you. Canelo will end you.
Yes.
Okay. And I still believe that Canelo beat Floyd Mayweather. Okay. I totally believe he beat Floyd Mayweather, but you know what? Everybody they coddled Floyd Mayweather a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why they call him Money Mayweather, because
yeah, and I'm sorry, but he waited to fight Pacquiao until Pacquiao was washed up.
Yeah, because he didn't want to step in the ring with him.
10 rounds. All they
he
did
wouldn't
was
step
dance
in the
for
ring
10
with him. He was chicken, man.
No,
He wasn't.
Since you're here, congratulations on
around too.
Just like when Mike Tyson
big
kept
shout
putting off Evander Holyfield, and then the only way and he couldn't beat Holyfield, so he had to bite his fucking ear off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Tyson waited until Holyfield was out of his prime, and then Holyfield just took it to him. He made Tyson look stupid in both fights.
Yep.
Nosy, I always think about you, man. Today, when the Lions won their second game of the season, I was very much thinking, Nosy.
Yes.
Congratulations.
If you can't beat him, eat him.
That works too, Mike. I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, let's talk about the Lions knocking themselves out of the first pick of the They can't even get that right.
Well, it's Arizona is doing its usual late season plummet.
Again, no DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
See, the thing about DeAndre Hopkins is that he could be injured, but as long as he's on the field, you have to worry about him.
Correct.
Defenses don't need to worry about the Cardinals as much when DeAndre is not in there. He's the ultimate decoy when he's not on the top of his game. But what do you have after DeAndre Hopkins?
AJ Green,
Rondale Moore,
AJ Green.
Oh, did you see AJ Green today?
Yeah.
Not run to tackle the guy that intercepted the ball?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray was pissed, yo. He looked at AJ Green and said, "Man, you've been in this league how long?"
Right. Yep.
Not only did he not come back to the ball, but he just stood there and watched the guy take off.
Yeah.
That was Bush League, as far as I'm concerned, by AJ Green.
That was lazy.
Oh, ridiculous. See, but that's just it. When you have second stringers and your first string is on the bench,
yeah,
you're toast. Uh-oh. The door has opened.
They're trying to get to the dog, man. The dog is in here, so they're
he got a new dog, Elliott.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You're not Weiler.
The Notweiler.
Thanks, Ken.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it from now on. Like, what kind of dog you got? Notweiler.
Notweiler.
Most definitely not Weiler.
Kudos to Ken for coming up with that one.
Yeah, that was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. Ken is just savvy with the.
Hey, Ken, get that trademark, dude. Get that copyrighted or something.
I'm gonna do that right away.
Yeah, I'm here for it, man.
Oh, that's awesome. So I've read the reviews on Spider-Man. I hear it's really good. I'm assuming none of you gentlemen have seen it yet, because John can't go to the movie theater.
I can't go to the theaters because I'm a detriment to society, because we all can see how well that vaccine is holding up against the spread of this shit. So look out! I'm coming to get you guys.
I was gonna go today.
Yeah,
but we all got our boosters on Saturday.
Yeah,
or was it Friday? Whichever day. It was Friday.
Friday,
we all got our booster shots.
Yeah,
and I had a reaction unlike the first two.
Which brand did you get?
Moderna was what I started with, and that's what
I had Moderna too. I had a sore shoulder for one day, and it was over with. So I don't.
Yeah, but on the booster one, I finally got those flu type symptoms and shit.
Oh, did you?
And I was on and off for a couple of days. Crystal got hit the hardest. As a matter of fact, she went to bed at 6:00 tonight. I'm like, never. ever.
My brother got
history.
Moderna, and he says his arm's been really sore the last 2 days.
Yeah, I'm good now. But when the first day or two, I had a sore spot on my shoulder. That was it.
Fortunately, Mariano's 18, so it does, and pretty healthy, so
Yeah.
it didn't affect him too much.
Yeah.
Well, I got the J&J a week ago last Friday, and then all the shit came down this week about it's not really all that effective, and I'm going, well, I guess I'm screwed then.
What, with J&J?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not recommending J&J unless the other two are not available.
Guys, John is judging us by his look on his face.
I'm not judging at all, man. That's you. That's your guys' thing, man.
I talked to the guy who gave them, and I said, I mean, what are my options? They go, you don't have any.
It's like they say it's a personal
2 months.
Like they say, it's a personal decision, and personally for me, being that I have comorbidities, I feel compelled to at least
and with my health issues, I feel compelled as well, Elliot.
Compelled to get those vaccinations so that at least I give myself a fighting chance.
Yeah, I got my booster just before Thanksgiving, so I've had it a while, but I felt I had to get it done because of my health.
I mean, if you're obese, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to get those shots because you're subjected to the worst case scenario if you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Since I had a heart attack, does that make me immunocompromised?
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. You have to ask your doctor.
Yeah.
I got a pacemaker put in.
Right.
Now I'm compromised.
Yeah.
I have what they call heart disease.
Wondering because I'm on blood thinners and I'm on all other kinds of drugs. So.
Look, I'm diabetic. I have multiple sclerosis. I have heart disease. I'm a prime candidate for death.
Yeah.
If I was to catch the shit and not be vaccinated.
Yeah.
Again, personal choice for everyone. I'm not going to knock people that do or don't take it.
Judge anyone for getting it. Same, my mom's in the same situation. All for it. Totally understand. What the beef I have is like, that's a really good, like, it's a personal choice. I'm making it for me, my family. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. But now the scourge of society is those unvaccinated that apparently I don't care about you, Elliot. That's what they're saying. Because I'm choosing not to, I don't care about those that are more affected. When that's not the case at all. I just don't want to put this shit into my body yet.
I don't look at it that way either, dude. I don't look at it that way either. I don't specifically say that the unvaccinated are evil people. Okay? Because that's just not true.
It's not true, and it is a personal choice, and I'm not going to judge you for it. So
again, the only factors involved is that you're more likely to suffer worse consequences if you're not vaccinated.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Yep.
What you choose to do with that information is totally up to you.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not. I always have a mask on and know I'm totally vaccinated. So even though I'm totally vaccinated, I still wear a mask everywhere I go.
Same here.
Because the vaccine's not designed to prevent you from getting COVID. It's minimized.
That's not what Biden said.
To minimize the effects.
That's not what Biden said. Biden said if everyone takes this, it's going to end. That's what he said. It is. He quoted, and there's tons of quotes where he said that if everyone got this, it would end. He said it. Go and find it.
If you put stock into a 79-year-old man who's probably getting close to senility,
he's the leader of the world.
The bottom line is that the vaccines are created. Look, it's no difference than vaccines that have been brought before. The flu vaccine.
But now, how many boosters?
Mumps,
how many boosters do you need? You're going to need to do this, and now they have these passports where you can't do anything unless you have this, even though it's shown that it doesn't stop the transmission of this.
No, but you know what? When we all grew up, at least here in the United States, if we didn't have a vaccination card, we couldn't go to school.
Right.
You are now not able to go into a store to get basic necessities.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay.
We don't have that kind of
Because-
mandate in this country. We don't have those kind of mandates.
No, we
It's
don't have
getting
that
there.
mandate.
It'll be there. Don't
No,
worry,
we don't-
because
we don't
remember
have
it was
those
2 weeks,
mandates,
and we just need to lock down for 2 weeks.
But you
and
know
it'll be
what?
done.
Here in the United States, a lot more people are deferring to online shopping and having their shit delivered.
Yep.
Than they are to go in stores.
And everyone's totally fine with it. Everyone is totally giving up everything. I don't, and everything is fine because we need to get back to normal.
There's
That's
nothing,
what we need.
There's nothing fine about it when people's lives are at stake.
There's nothing normal either.
But the bottom line is that it's your life. I mean, I just don't approve of people that fake their way through vaccination.
Mm-hmm.
Like Antonio Brown, Aaron Rodgers. If you're not vaccinated, just fucking say so.
Like Cole. Cole was demonized for that shit, but he was day one. He said,
but he didn't take it though.
And the thing is if you're not vaccinated, it's not like they tell you can't play. You just have to go through a different set of protocols to play.
But now it's back to the exact same protocols, though.
Try to fake it.
It's like right now,
everyone's tested now. Like even
the NFL is no longer. The NFL made some changes to the protocols. If you're unvaccinated, yes, you get tested on a daily basis. If you are vaccinated and are asymptomatic, don't have symptoms, you don't have to get tested every day. Maybe once a week, I think is what it is now. So that's what they're changing.
95% of NFL players are vaccinated. 97% of NBA players, almost 100% of NHL players. And if this shit goes through the healthiest of us, the most fit, healthiest 20-something-year-olds of us, there ain't no hope for us. There ain't no hope for my fat ass.
But look at what Brooklyn's doing. They're bringing back Kyrie Irving, and it's ironic because they're bringing him back.
He can't play in New York, though.
So he's a part timer. He's going to play only on the road.
Hmm.
But as soon as they made that announcement, he tested positive for
COVID. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me ask you something, John. If the NHL does shut down for X number of weeks or whatever, how do you think this affects the NHL players playing in the Winter Olympics?
Done. And I bet you they're going to announce it in the next couple of days.
Yeah,
the Winter Olympics are where?
China.
Winter?
China.
China?
Oh, China. Beijing.
Wasn't that the origin?
Yeah.
Who knows these days? I mean,
well, they said it came.
We're a long way from Wuhan these days, guys. I don't know if you guys remember
it all started with a bat in the food area.
Yeah, John, right, exactly.
Or it got started by billion-dollar companies that knew that they could get everyone on boosters and still get profits for hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, and they don't give a shit how many people die because they're in the profits. They don't give a shit if you die. They don't care as long as you get that damn booster, buddy. That's all they want. They want your money. And it's not, I don't have to pay for it. It's not you that they're getting the money from. They're getting it from the government.
Yeah.
NFL, dude, same thing.
Yep.
They don't care about shit but the bottom line.
Right. And again, I'm just, listen, and this is the funny thing. I'm not anti-vax. I'm actually very pro-vax. I know this is a dangerous ass illness. I'm not taking a thing away from it. I just know that it's just like George Carlin said, it's a big party and you ain't in it. Because there's people, and I'm going to go biblical, Scott, plug your ears. Ephesians 6:12, Ken knows this, Elliott knows this. We are not at war with flesh and blood, but with the principalities and the evil spirit wickedness that's going on in the world. It is an evil, evil, evil thing that's going on. Yes, the disease is rotten, but there's rotten things behind the scenes.
But let's clarify, it's not actually a disease, it's a virus. A disease is heart. A disease is
diseases are not contagious.
MS. It's not a disease, it's a condition.
And diseases are historically not contagious. Viruses are contagious. That's the difference.
Right.
Well, what gets me
is contagious. My good looks is contagious. Okay, that's what's contagious.
You're a handsome man, John. Let me tell you.
I'm not getting the vaccines. I don't know what's in it. and yet these people are eating McRib. You don't know what's in
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
either.
that's stupid. Yeah, no.
Like,
Wait, I'm not saying this is the thing. I don't think the vaccines got little nanobots that are going to control your body and all that. No.
Oh,
This
wait
is
a
what
minute.
they're tracking you with, gentlemen. This is
Right,
what they're
exactly.
tracking
I
you
know
with.
that's all bull. Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
don't know what's in it, but I'm going to go have a.
This
Big
is
Mac.
what they're tracking you with.
Yeah, it's that's all bull.
Well,
It's-
why the hell
I
do
just
you think they had created smartphones? Come on,
Exactly.
man. I mean, shit.
smart.
The other night,
You ain't the smart one.
the other night I went to sleep and my camera was off on my computer. When I woke up the next morning, that shit was on.
Oh, Jesus.
Luckily, I had the freaking lid on the lens because who knows what the hell happened.
Well,
If
if
my
your camera's
camera-
on, that means your microphone's on too, Elliot.
That's right.
Oh, it's on 24/7, man.
Oh,
And
no,
that's
but
like,
I shut down microphones and all that, dude.
I
They can
just-
hear you through your TV. Come on,
That's
man.
true. All right, that's it. That's
bad
9
for
o'clock.
you.
It's
I
9
think
No,
I hear
o'clock.
we're
these
all in
people on TV.
agreement here. Like we're not. No
They
one's
would
like I
make
know.
calls. They're
Scott
doing
gets
it.
so weirded out when we get into this. Huh? Scott thinks like
He
no,
does.
I agree with everything you guys are saying. Totally. I
Okay.
just think that it's all bullshit and it's bad for you, like George Carlin famously said. Because it's just
There's a lot
Yeah.
of bullshit in this world, man.
amen
for
to
sure.
that, man.
Just ask the folks in QAnon.
All right. Programming note, gentlemen. I will be in North Florida next Sunday, so we will not have a show next week. I'll
Okay.
be at my parents' house for the Christmas holiday, so we won't have a show next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
And we'll be back January 2nd, which is 2 weeks from tonight. Tonight.
If you're wondering what to get me for Christmas, I need a tripod for my camera.
Hey, Ken, I wasn't
Yeah.
wondering at all. But I'm glad you brought it up.
Somebody send John a real dog for Christmas.
With that
All right,
said,
guys.
can we do the pre-Christmas outro?
Yes, you can do the outro if you can get it set up. And if you can get it set up, we haven't heard in a while.
It's ready to go.
Let's
Let's
do
go.
it. We're gonna be out of here for 2
Mob
weeks.
Deep
Folks.
before we go.
We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks everybody for showing up
Fortnite.
tonight. We are the Sports Nerds, and we are out. Elliot, play that loving and outro.
Beautiful.
When he can play it, and we're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting.
It's there. Hang on. Let me hold on. It was just on. What the hell happened? Okay, here we go.
Hey,
I can
that's
sing
gonna
it.
make me
You want me to
20.
sing it? Son, you shook. There ain't no such
can't
thing.
hear
as
it,
halfway
Elliot.
crooks.
We can't hear it, Elliot.
God damn.
I'll sing it.
What the hell? All right.
Here
Here we go. How about now?
Nope.
Well, there you have it, Nerd Nation. Another Sunday episode.
We can hear it through your microphone, but not on the show.
Yeah, very, very weak.
On behalf of our host, Scott, the Sports Nerd, right? That's not right.
That's not right.
Oh, I know why.
How
about that?
Participating with us in the best 90 minutes of sports smack talk on the web today. So until next
Can you hear it now?
Sunday night,
Yeah.
Geek Nation, we want to leave you with a quick PSA. Please stay safe. Please practice social distancing. And for fuck's sake, please wear a fucking mask. You just got hit with a pack rant from the Rant Pack. And with that, fellas, we are out.